Hello, this is the intro. This channel will be focused on level 2. It will be explaining chart patterns to some degree, but if you do not need that, you can always skip to the point where I am watching the level 2. I do copy my trading style off of Warrior Trading. It works. So, okay guys, I'm going to be showing you a lot of trades here today. This is going to be the first trade that I will record. This trade was back here in this range and it was a 1 cent loss, but now that we're going into the open, we got a minute and a half to the bell. I was watching, if you see this 5 minute chart, um, you see is you have this false breakout candle here, and you have a bit of a topping out with decreasing volume here on the we're losing green volume on the 1 minute chart as we're topping out on the 5 minute chart. So it didn't look that great. Ross recommended not to trade it. I said, sure, why not? I'll just sit on my thumbs. I had already gotten chopped out once today. So going into the open, um, we have this candle turning red right now, but um, we have a minute and a half left. So at the moment, I've gotten this trend line drawn from the tops of these two wicks. And I'm thinking if we can get a pullback to this trend line or potentially a double bottom off that level, then that might be an early entry to try to catch this candle going from red to green and then catching that first 1 minute candle make it or 5 minute candle make a new high over that level. So that was my theory on this trade. Doesn't work out, but it's a small loss controlled. So we watch, I'm watching down here towards the low. It dipped down to 357. Should click buy shortly. We're dipping down. So I'm watching at the low of this wick. I really think that I don't want to be early, so I'm giving it time to get there. In this type of 5 minute setup, I don't want to be early. It's just not a strong 5 minute setup at the moment. So I'm trying to find my good entry. And here it comes down to 355. And I wanted to see if I could hold 355 and get some green on the tape, but we didn't get it. But what we saw is 55 broke, it dropped to 54, and then bids replenished at 55. So that gave me that confidence to click buy there. We'll watch it back. So 55, I'm really hoping 55 is the level that holds on this trend line, but red takes it out, starts attempting 54, and immediately green on the tape, and bids replenish 55. So I consider 55 to be holding here. If I see more, then I'm going in, and I do. So then it pops, it snaps to 60. I'm like, cool, I have a good entry here um, with a stop really under the low at this current pullback. So I just bought like under 54 at the lowest because I don't want to be holding into the open. So if it breaks under 54, I'll dump it and maybe try to reposition myself for a better entry. But um, I wanted to see this candle or this 5 minute candle go green and we start working towards the highs here. But we come back down and we're holding 55 for a second time here in the pullback. So 55 is kind of like my mental stop. We look like we're pulling up again, and then it red on the tape and bid starts evaporating. So I dump it into the open, 2 seconds from the open. Let's see what happens. So here's where you could have been looking for an entry on that pullback, but I wasn't quick enough. So I missed the first entry, but we have multiple opportunities here. So it's going to go green here at the beginning and then pull back. Wait for it. So here's its testing above 350 here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, so after that first 30 seconds of the open, it feels like we're starting to base out above 350. It doesn't feel as volatile anymore, so I feel a little more confident looking for an entry. So it's definitely basing out above 350. That candlestick pattern right now is in, what is that, inverted hammer, pretty sure, and it's bearish. So we should be waiting at the moment. We can potentially look for a reversal by buying the dip. and the dip for me would be off 350. So here we go. We're getting that candle turn into a spinning top, which is still indecision, which is kind of less or is better than that bearish inverted hammer. So now that we're getting that spinning top, I feel even more confident about looking for a dip above this 350 level. So now this is becoming a, forgive me, this is becoming a clear target for me if it can hold above 350. And that gives me a nice little stop out range. So if I can find a place where it can hold above 350 on this 1 minute candle, we can get that bottoming tail, and then we can hold, like stop out if it falls under 350 there. So now we're pulling back again to this trend line and everything that I've said before. It holds there at 355. I don't want to be early. So now I'm watching, can it hold 55 on the pullback? No, but here we go. We're testing 50. So 51, I think I can already click buy here. So yeah, oh yeah, I click it on the next go around. So I could have clicked buy there at 52, and then I'm in a little bit higher here. I paid a little higher of a price waiting for confirmation. So I click buy there at 55. So let's play it back. I'll show you the two different entries you could have taken. One if I was paying more attention. So the entry should be around 350. Here's 350, 351. Could have clicked buy there at 54 at least. Snaps with the 57. Now watching on the pullback. 53. Click buy there at 54. So I was in a little late. I click in there at 55. And now we look for this retest of the highs. We want this candle to go green, us to break over this. We have this flat top formation. Forgive me. I'll figure this out sooner or later. We have flat top formation, a little bit of a tweezer top right here. And if I felt like if we could break that level, we might get that snap up towards 70. And that it's hard to tell in this grainy video, but there's another level here at 70. So I felt like if we could break through this level, we could get a clear move up towards 70, and we might snap up towards 70. So we're at 55. It does take a little bit. I don't want to waste too much more time. It holds at 55 on the bid. That's the important part on the pullback. Now we're breaking above 60. It's the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Potential profit target. But once again, I feel it's a 5 minute setup and I feel a little more confident. And now if we look at how that candle turned out, we broke above. We got this candle turned from an inverted hammer to a spinning top. This candle turned into an actual hammer, which is bullish. So now that we have this bullish formation and we look pretty strong and we have this 5 minute setup in our favor, I felt like instead of taking profit here on this first 1 minute candle to make a new high, I could just hold and hope it holds above that 355. And even having a technical 5 cent stop out under 350 is good enough for the risk reward in this situation. So high this candle is 364. So we're really looking for that break of 364, 65, and that taking profit above that level. So let's see how it looks when we get there. Skipping ahead, just be aware that it doesn't break 55 in the bid. The bid holds at 55, so I never felt any form of weakness. I'll go back from here. All right, so we can watch from here. And I was questioning whether or not I took profit too early, and I think I did. So I'm taking profit on the break of 65 or when it stutters on the next. I think, yeah, so it stutters here. I get a big seller wall. It looks like it's going to break, then more sellers come in right there. And I'm like, okay, so we got a bit of a wall here. If it doesn't quickly break with some green here, I'm going to take profit. So I think I was a little skittish here, and I should have been a little more committed to the trade. So I take profit right there, and then 2 seconds later it snaps. And look at the snap. If you noticed on the level 2, it went from 65 to 70. So my inclination that if we broke this level, we're going to immediately test the next level was correct. And I had that thought before. It's not hindsight is 2020, but I had that thought in the moment, but it was just that stuttering around 65 scared me off. So that'll be it for this trade, and I'll continue with another part of the video. Just following that breakout in the open, we have this setup. Um, this is going to be purely based off level 2. So what we're going to have here, let's watch on the 1 minute chart, is this clear breakout level, and it's going to see a big snap, and it's like a fresh 5 minute breakout, right? So we have a clear level on the 1 and the 5 minute chart. This is a brand new breakout, and we're going to look to ride the momentum up towards the high of 378, and look for the break of this high. This is our target. So it just freshly breaks. All right, I took profit a little early, but now we're pulling at the 65. Up to 69.71, back to 69, holding 69, and we're in. So just notice how I recognize 69, 69 showed up again, 69 showed up again as strength. So 3 times in a row kind of showed up as potential strength. And then you click buy. So just watch that back. So the breakout level is over 365. It breaks 65. Snap, snap, snap. Pulling back. Retest the highs, can't break it. Pulls back to around 69, constantly seeing 69 on the bid, pulling up, and we're out. So it was a little faster the first time. I read it a little slow the second time. So we're just seeing 69 constantly print, and then we pull away from 69 and it comes back. So let's see. Up to 72, pulls back 69, 69, up to 71, tries to pull back 69, held, buying. So now notice how we're not testing 69 really on the bid right now. We got bid increased to 70. So now my stop out range is 69.70. I remember the profit target is over 378. Stop out range under 69.70. Doesn't break. Up to 78. And I get filled there on that snap. I think I clicked sell at 78 and got filled there at 383. So it's 2 different trades back to back where I think I sold just a tad bit too early and missed a considerable amount of profit. So something to think about. Okay, you just watched that second trade, now I'll watch the third. So we just now freshly snapped up to 390. That's just happened. Now we're pulling back to 385 on the bid. 82, up to 87, 88, pull back to 87, 86. Now we're seeing a lot of strength here. So remember, the first time it tried to pull back, it hit 85. It fell through 85, hit 82. It pulled back above 85, and then when we're attempting to break 85 again, look what happens. It doesn't want to go. So that's just tape reading. So I noticed strength around 85. Profit target towards $4. You could look for the break of 4, or you could take profit before 4. And I am in the mood to take profit before 4 in this current market. So I just took 5 cents of profit there. And if you notice the share size, I just can't get margin on any stock at all. So I just emailed the support trying to figure out what's going on, but I don't have margin on like any stock, so it's really letting me down there. But yeah, there's 3 trades in a row. 4.